Okay, so trying this for the second time. This is the stupid microphone turned itself off, so I'm just going to try to remember what I said. So this is Mixamo to UE4. So this is the Mixamo window. You've got your characters over on the left. So those are your two tabs, animations and characters. So choose your characters from the characters window, obviously. Try to choose something not stupid like the semi-nude 70s woman, because that's just going to be weird, and we've moved on a bit since then. And so, I hope. So, let's just, that's just running the animation. Obviously, you just press play to run the animations. And if you go to the animations window, you've got a vast selection of mocapped animation characters. So choose your character, choose your animations. We'll have a look in a minute at the animations we actually need. And just try and choose a character, as I say, that isn't stupid. So let's try this little fella. That's just a warning message, just telling you obviously that it's just removing the previous character. So it's just defaulting back to the same animation. You can zoom in by rolling the middle mouse button, and you can orbit with the left mouse button. Computer's having a bit of a fit because it's trying to open Unreal at the same time. So let's just have a look. You have massive amounts of you have lots of movesets. You have traversal movesets, you have jump movesets, you have combat movesets. So just have a look for things you need. But we do have a set of animations we are going to need to bring the character into UE4. And apologies for the fact it keeps graying out. That's because it is trying to open Unreal. So you're not really missing much though. So that's basically the jump animation. So we want to choose these animations. Basically, we need run, walk, and idle is the ones we need to replace the character. And we're not actually replacing the UE4 mannequin. We're just nicking some of the important functionality from it. So T-pose. So you want to get a T-pose. I'd always suggest getting a T-pose for your characters. And you get T-pose and A pose. So A pose is where the arms are down like that. So T-pose is basically easier for the 3D editor or 3D package to read characters in T-pose or A pose, because you've got the arms away from the body. If you've got your hands facing up like that, it'll also read the fingers. And Mixamo actually auto rigs characters, which we're going to have a look at in a minute. Which is really astounding because we used to have to effectively rig and who's this character? We used to effectively have to rig and weight skins for characters. So I've chosen this because it's low poly. It's very low poly, so it means it'll come into Mixamo a lot quicker. But you can get, this is Sketchfab, you can get Turbo Squid. You can find free 3D models, and that's in an A pose. You can find free 3D models. This one's from Janico. Thanks, Janico. And thanks for the massive grey screen. Oh, no, it's back now. So, yeah. Right, so we're having a disturbance in the force at the minute. So, let's just have a look at exporting this. So, what you want to do is you want to get yourself a free character in T-pose or A-pose. And then you want to download the 3D models. So FBX is the format you're always going to want your 3D models in. At the moment anyway, and what it'll do is it'll export the textures with that. So I've already done that, so what I'll do is go back to Mixamo and upload a character. Obviously you can use an existing one, but so that gives you the options of FBX, OBJ or zip, and it always has trouble getting the text. Sometimes it's the best way I found of getting textures in is to put an OBJ with a texture file and zip it and then drag that in. So in this case we're just going to drag in the FBX and the textures, and what will happen is the textures won't apply, but the UV mapping, where it recognizes where the texture should be, will still come in with the model. So that means that we can apply, we can basically, I wouldn't get too stressed about not having a texture in Mixamo, because we can apply that in UE4. So, as I say, this is like kind of a godsend, if we'd had this back in the day. we would all have been making games in our bedrooms instead of in large offices with sweaty men. So, yeah, so this is basically just going through the process of auto rigging. If you've got your character in, bring, and obviously this should be texted at this point, but it isn't. But as I say, we'll correct that in UE4. Position your elbows, your wrists, your knees. Obviously, it's self-explanatory. You can see down the bottom it says standard skeleton, which that should be looking for fingers as well, but obviously in this case we have a little bit of slumpiness going on, so it's not going to find any fingers. If you've got bigger models, it still take quite a while actually. It has, I'm sure it's taken like between 5 and 10 minutes sometimes with me. And then it'll bring the character in and apply default animation. So next up, how long have I got to go? Let's have a look. Oh, still got a while to try and remember what I was talking about. So yes, here's Lara. She's in now. She's just defaulted to the T-pose, which is the previous animation I had selected. It's not an animation, it's actually a pose. So I think at this point we will have a look at the animations that we need to be taking into UE4. I'm obviously talking about something there. Could be to do with the stumpy arms. Don't know. So let's have a look. Okay. So as I say, we want an idle, we want a run, and we want a walk. And it's always handy to take a T-pose in, just as your default pose, just so that Unreal will recognise what it is and apply a skeleton. So with skin, so if you've got your T-pose, that's the one that you want to keep with skin, and you just download that, and then what will happen is it'll just download it with the name of the animation, so you're going to need to go back in and rename that, otherwise you'll get really confused really quickly. Don't always do that, always rename, so it'll be Lara T-pose for instance. Next up, what we're looking for, let's have a look. So I'm just checking. I'm just checking the idles. Yeah. So some of these are just static poses, which you don't want. You want an animated pose. Looks like a moody teenager. Yeah. Sorry. So you can adjust the arm spaces as well to kind of change the. I mean, that still looks quite weird, but let's kind of go with that. Sway. So some of them have different settings basically, and you don't need the skin with this one because the Unreal will take in the skin and the skeleton with the T-pose. So from this point on, we just need to be bringing in animations. I'll explain it when we get into UE4. But yeah, you only need one character with a T-pose and the skin, and that's just, if you don't keep exporting the skin on all the animations, it just saves a bit of memory. So it's kind of good practice. So let's have a look at running. So we want to run. So you'll see here that you want it in place because you don't. The 3D package will it applies the velocity when you input on the controller. So it's adding a velocity. So it's going to get really confused if you've already got forward movement on the animation, and then it probably just end up skittering along the floor like Lara has gone mad. Okay, so downloading that without skin, and I think we just got to walk now. Let's see how far I've got to keep this going. Not too far now, I'm almost there. Okay, yeah. So I think at the end of this, in case it violently suddenly cuts off, I'm just going to, yeah, probably not that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to export all of these, and then I'm going to rename them, and then we will move over to UE4. So I think just export that, and then in place, yeah, and then I think we're sorted. So then I can cut it off here.